So the commander of U.S. Strategic Command has come out and given a grave warning. All right, this guy is not messing around, and this just shows how serious the situation is getting. All right, I made a video a couple days ago about how there's all this military activity all around the country. Okay, Phoenix, Arizona is having massive drills right now inside the city. Okay, New Jersey's having massive drills, live artillery drills with howitzers. Okay, very heavy artillery, and they're using this in New Jersey. This is happening. I saw personally aircraft flying over recently the past few days. Okay, so things are boiling up. All right, things are like starting to get to a point where something big could happen. All right, and this is how we were warned. This is how it would be. All right, it wouldn't just happen right away. It could take years to be dragged into this and to drag it out. All right, and this is all part of the globalist plan. All right, this is all part of a coordinated effort to bring down the current system, all right, and implement something new and dystopian and a world government type system. All right, so don't trust anyone. Don't trust anyone. Don't even trust me. Go look up everything I say, fact check everything I say. You can go look it all up. I try to be as accurate as possible. All right, so the commander of U.S. Strategic Command, he has come out and he has said this. All right, he said, all of us in this room are back in the business of contemplating direct armed conflict with a nuclear capable peer. We have not had to do that in over 30 years. He goes on to say, Russia and China can escalate to any level of violence that they choose in any domain with any instrument of power worldwide. He continued, we just haven't faced competitors and opponents like that in a long time. All right, and this is completely true. This is 100% true. All right, and this is the commander of U.S. Strategic Command. This guy knows everything pretty much that's going on in this part of the world. All right, so he's warning this, and Poland is also coming out and doing something drastic as well. Okay, they are starting to give iodine pills to all their citizens. Okay, they are stocking up all the hospitals, they're stocking up all the government facilities, they're giving them out to people. And this is because the threat level has reached such a high point. Okay, and there's things going on with the biggest nuclear reactor in Europe as well over there. All right, and Poland is right there next to all this stuff. All right, Poland is right in the thick of it. They are getting the brunt of it. They are getting the brunt of all the refugees, people coming over there. They're all going to Poland, and Poland's worried. They are giving out iodine for their citizens, and that's a good thing. All right, and sorry, I'm still sick, guys. I've been sick for a few days now, but I'm trying to get through it, trying to get these videos out. But here's the thing with iodine. It's great for radioactive iodine, all right? Radioactive iodine isotopes, which are a real threat if there is a nuclear meltdown, okay? Because that's the element that your body most readily wants to absorb from a nuclear fallout situation. Your body's constantly trying to suck up iodine. Most people have an iodine deficiency. The soil is super deficient in iodine, and most people are not getting the proper amount. And iodine's linked to literally like 10 to 15 IQ points, okay? Increased IQ is linked to iodine exposure as well, especially for children. All right, go look that up. This is real. The United States started putting putting iodine in the salt because they realized that it literally increases people's IQ when they are exposed to iodine when they're young. Okay, but it protects you from that. But there's also a bunch of other radioactive isotopes that are being spewed out of a nuclear reactor if there's a meltdown. Okay, so it's going to be more than just iodine. So you need to have HEPA filters. Okay, you need to have carbon filters. You can literally get them for your AC. Okay, you know how you change your AC filter? You can get heavy duty heavy duty HEPA filters. I recommend, this is what I had, because I used to live in the middle of a bunch of orange groves in Florida, all right? And it was a very heavily sprayed area, and these were like aerial pesticides, so it wasn't just like being sprayed at the ground. So this was like just a heavily contaminated area. All the wells had to have special state filters on them, and you literally got a state rebate because they have to have these very expensive filters on all your well water, because all the groundwater's contaminated. Everything's contaminated essentially in this area because they've used some of the most extreme pesticides and herbicides over the last 50 years on these groves. But I used to have HEPA filters and carbon filters. So it's like, first it's a HEPA filter and then it's a carbon filter after that you can put in your AC when you change your filter, okay? And this will essentially filter out anything, radioactive particles, viral particles, bacterial particles, smoke, mold. It captures pretty much anything, because the micron filter number is so small that essentially nothing can pass through it. All right, it's so small that radioactive molecules cannot pass through this. Only air can. All right, and it's just good for your health too. All right, it's good to just have like fresh air breathing in as well. I had a separate carbon filter for my room just to keep the air super fresh in there as well, because we had a baby at this house and I was very worried about my child being exposed, being in this area when he's so young. He was literally born in this area. So look into all this stuff, right? Because iodine, yeah, you could have nascent iodine. That's some of the best kind you can get. Nascent iodine, you can get that from Global Healing Center or from like InfoWars store. Okay, they have some of that stuff too, and no affiliation. I don't have any affiliation or anything, but that's just where I've seen like the highest quality iodine sold. Okay, but your air is going to be contaminated. You need to map off the rooms, you need to map off the windows, you need to have like tape and plastic so you can seal off your door frame, okay? Because you're gonna have to kind of just be like breathing the same air for like a good 48 hours. Maybe you could crack the window here and there so you don't suffocate, but you want to let as little external air in as possible, and you want to have that air filtered if you do have to let it in. So get this stuff now, guys. All right, get this stuff now. You don't have to get a giant HEPA filter that's like on the ground. It's its own thing that you see in hospitals that are $500. You don't have to get that. You just have to get a little. They're like, maybe they're $50 now. They were probably like $30 back then, but they're probably $50 for this filter that will last you 3 months, and you could just throw it in your prep stuff too. You don't even have to use it right now. You could just use your normal filter, and if stuff hits the fan, something happens, you can bust out your HEPA filter. All right, so get this stuff. Get water filters as well, because the water could be contaminated as well from a radioactive situation. All right, and this is huge. If something happens, like these reactors are going to start melting down all over the place. All right, if we take a direct hit, if we give a direct hit, all right, this could also just cause a snowball effect of reactors melting down all over the world too. Okay, because infrastructure is getting hit, mass, plants are getting hit, stuff like that. They could literally target plants, you know what I mean, to make it even worse. All right, that's exactly what they're doing with the largest power plant in Europe right now. All right, so get your stuff now, get prepared now, guys. Get water filters. No affiliation or anything like that, but I love the Life straws, and I love the Sawyer minis. All right, go check those out. I think the Sawyer mini can filter like 100,000 gallons of water. All right, so look into all this stuff, and thank you guys. You have a big old blessed day.